Good morning, Facebook. I think we're live now. I'm getting better at realizing what that is up in the corner up there. So good morning again. This is Joy Heiler joining you from my kitchen. When I checked the internet prior to coming on, I had a dot and a dash. So I'm hoping that we have good internet this morning. It's a little bit subjective to what the weather is like outside, and the weather is beautiful. So I'm hoping that during this, we get a dot, a dash, and a bar. Now, how would that be? Wouldn't that be incredible? So thank you again for joining me this morning. What we're going to be talking about is scars. And what I want to, hi, honey, this is all for you, baby. So what I want to share with you is what's been my journey with scarring. And when I was in my 20s, I had severe adult acne, just absolutely severe. I had big, huge things that I had to go, and the derm doc would poke them and pick them and everything. I would have been the best episode of the Pimple Popper ever. And the whole entire world would have been like, you've got to be kidding me, that poor gal. So you've seen all the pictures where people had all the red all over, and I had all varying degrees of acne. So by the time I got into my 30s, I was pretty disappointed with the way my skin was. And so when I met Lisa Kroom, I think I must have been about 38 years old. And like I said, I wasn't happy with the condition of my skin. So I've been using Arbonne since then. And I used to have to, you can see that I have no blemishes in my skin at all. It's just beautiful, smooth skin. I used to have to dig the cosmetics out of my pores because they were so big and the scarring and everything. So what the biggest message that I want you all to hear about scars and wrinkles, I could have actually called this live presentation today, Scars and Wrinkles, because they're blemishes in the skin. Both of them are stretch marks. They are blemishes in the skin. So what happens is, with my acne scars, what has happened over the years is that I've exfoliated and taken care of my skin enough that I have perfect skin now. The thing about all three of those things, we're just going to say scars just because that's what our program is called today. However, it does go with stretch marks and wrinkles. is going to be included in that. So every time I say scars, y'all know that it's all those things that go into the skin that we could treat like this. So the thing about all of these things about scars is you have to have patience for it. You have to have a lot of patience. What happens with a lot of people is they'll buy our products and then they use them once or twice and they say, oh, it didn't work for me, Joy. It just didn't work for me. Well, it's only going to work if you use it. Okay, it does not work up on the shelf. It's kind of like having a gym membership and not going. It doesn't really do you any good to have the products if you're not actually going to use them. So several of the things that I use, but first I want to demonstrate to you, here's my prop. Do you love my prop? So I want to demonstrate to you all the different layers of the skin. So if you can look at all these layers of skin, this is how many layers we need to treat in order to get rid of your scar. So Richie, yours is really thick on your neck. Is that correct? So it would be like cutting this, which we don't want to do because this is valuable. So if we were going to cut this and then try to heal all of those layers of the skin back together, it's going to create this ginormous, very deep scar. So what happens in time, okay, yes, very thick. Okay, so if you can get this layer off and promote this layer to grow, eventually all of these layers will look like this again, okay? So the way we do that is to understand that your skin has the different layers in it that do different things. So Arbonne makes products that treat the different layers in your skin. So say for instance, you want to exfoliate. Now while I'm telling you all this, so you see this visual, right? The toilet paper visual. What I want you to visualize as far as a scar goes is a lake that's drying up, okay? So we are trying to get all those edges of the lake to come in because we want the lake bed to be dry. So visualize your scar like that. That's how many layers and that we have to reduce in order for all these healthy layers of skin to come up and to be complete again, okay? So this is one of the things that I do like a religion. The coolest thing ever when Arbonne started to make these, I actually think this is what put my nearly 60-year-old skin back on the map, because this is a little scrubby pad. And look at the backs of my hands. I use it on the back of my hands as well. So at night when I take off all my makeup, and next week I'm going to take my makeup off for y'all. You're going to love that episode. Okay, so after I take my makeup off at night, I'm tired. I don't feel like really doing a whole lot, right? So I take one of these little rough little scratchy pads. They're abrasive-y, you know, and they have this stuff in them. I don't know what stuff it is, but it works. And I go all over my whole entire face, my eyes, everything. And then I do the backs of my hands. Now, the way to tell how old people are, we talked about this earlier with your woggle, with your neck woggle. That's one way to tell. The other way to tell is the back of the hands. So I do this, and then I exfoliate and moisturize the back of my hands. So exfoliation and moisturization treat the top of the skin. If you want to go into those layers of the skin to treat the down below, to move that out, because remember we want to move that out, what you want to do is use a product that has serum in it, okay? So Arbonne makes Biohydria serum, which is for your face. I'll get that later. This is your combination of body lotion and serum. This is a combination. We used to make them separate. So you would put on your serum and then you would put on your lotion. And people wouldn't use it because they didn't want to do the two different steps. So Arbonne combined them. So now you only have to do one step to get the same result. So congratulations. Here we have serum and lotion in the same product. So if you use this, so if you've had a tummy tuck or breast augmentation and you have scars, you know, on your torso that you're working on, stretch marks, whatever, you had babies, this is going to help you with that. Now, Richie, for you, because your neck is where you have your scar, it's right in between. You could either use this and get into that and see what you can do with that. This would be very effective for your scar. The other thing is you could use the regiment. I dropped the serum so I can't flash it at you again. However, you could use this whole regiment of exfoliate, right? You want to exfoliate and then put a serum on, then put a moisture on top of that so we can treat all those layers of skin. And then the very most important thing that we do to our skin every day is wear a sunscreen, because I have actually had two basal cell carcinoma things removed for sun exposure on this side where I always drive. So this is the name on this tube right here, or this tube. You can ask me later, Richie, and I'll go over this with you later too. This is the RE9 Advanced Body and Retexturization Serum in the body lotion. So, and that tells you exactly what it's going to do. It's going to retexturize your skin. The most important thing that we do is sunscreen. Now, I'll do a whole thing on sunscreen. The one that I want you to know about with Arbonne sunscreen, I'll tell you briefly, is that we are reef friendly. So because we're a botanical skincare company, you can actually wear this in the reef when you go on your holiday, when all this is lifted. When you go to a reef and you have regular sunscreen on, that's killing the reef. Have you all heard about that? Australia's not even going to have one here in the next couple of years, which means we have no legacy for our children to see a reef. So Arbonne has reef-friendly sunscreen. And I didn't even know it was a thing. Seriously, until my friend asked me. He says, do you have reef? And I said, I don't even know what that is. So I started checking into it, and absolutely Arbonne is reef-friendly. So, excuse me, I think I'll do that next week. So let's talk about something else that happens in the skin. I use this lift, and I talked about that the other day with the woggle. You know, we don't want that. So I started talking about this the other day. Here's the other thing I want to tell you about it, but I have to have water. So I'm sorry, y'all have to wait just a second. Look at my beautiful grandbabies. Excuse me. So The lift, we were talking about it the other day. Now, what this is going to do for a scar is it's going to take you way faster to promoting that healthy skin growth, and it's going to help strip off some of that old dead stuff. And then I'll tell you about this here in a second. So what happens with the lift is that in your skin, you have spider webbing things that are all over your skin like this, and they help your skin stay on, which is another reason why I used this in the Woggle presentation the other day, because this is going to improve that spider webbing in your skin. Now, I'm going to be 60, and here's what I want you to see about my skin, is that normally a woman my age has lots of sagging here at the ear. You can actually see, you know, that the skin is starting to fall off her face. As you can see, my skin is stuck to my face. It's strong. And my jowls are nice and tight. My skin is nice and tight all over. And that's because I use this lift. So lift is going to help significantly if you're working on scars, wrinkles, stretch marks. It's going to help a lot to get that spider webbing going. Now, here's another thing. We have granular exfoliation stuff that you can use, which helps tremendously. Anytime I mix it up, I do, you guys should see me run around the house because I always have some sort of a mask on before I take a shower. So it's either a scrubby mask or it's one of these peely masks. So this is Arbonne's Cellular Renewal Mask. And what this means is it's going to actually eat the dead skin cells that are on your face. And this is a facial product. So Richie, you could use this down on your neck, and that would help tremendously to pull those dead skin cells off and allow new ones to regenerate. So getting the old dead skin cells off is really, I look great in the, I'm sorry. We might just be a dot and a dash. If we could just get dot, dash, and bar, it would be a lot better. So let me see. Let me go over one of the ways to prevent scarring is to use your sunscreen, because if you have a scar that's going to get worse in the sun, so not to prevent, I didn't mean to say that, but if you want to reduce the amount of scarring that you have, you want to use sunscreen and stay out of the sun. The other thing is if you have a scar, a lot of times you'll see that white stuff build up in, like you have a cut and you have that white stuff build up. If you keep that white stuff out, so in other words, you keep that sore, that cut, that, you know, surgical line, whatever you have, if you keep that dry, clean, you know, like scrub it and keep all that debris out of it, those layers of the skin will come together way faster if you keep your injury clean and clear. So let me look and make sure, so we understand that you exfoliate, you use stuff that's going to work on the collagen in your skin, which is going to be your serums. Your lift is going to work on that stuff that goes like this, all the spider webbing to hold your skin on. And then your moisturizing is going to help you tremendously. And your sunscreen is going to then help to prevent lots and lots of sun damage and help you to overcome all these obstacles much quicker. So let me see. I think I covered everything. Just remember, we have to treat all these layers. So you have to have patience, okay? Put stuff on one time, you're never going to see any. Well, actually, that's not true. I take that back, because Arbonne has, if you want to Google Arbonne before and afters, you could bring up before and afters that people have testimonies about the results that they've seen after one time, 5 times, 10 times. So you can actually go and look up the result people get. We've had folks that put the lift, you know, just on the one eye, and then an hour later look, and they have, you know, bags on this side, no bag on that side. So you actually can see a result in one use. But for Richie, for long-term, for scar removal, not going to happen in one time. So patience is going to be the key. Let's see. I think I got everything. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. My website is joyheiler.arbonne.com. If you want to order any of these products or you have any questions, let me know. joyheiler@msn.com. Make it a great day. It's going to be a magnificent weekend. I know all of you are going to enjoy yourselves, and that the fact that we're on lockdown does not mean you can't order Arbonne, because Arbonne is open and shipping. Boom. we are practicing all the procedures to keep our people safe. So we sure are excited about your request, Richie, for help with your scar. If anybody else has requests, let me know. Next week is going to be blush and bronzer. I'll probably do a short segment on lip gloss, and I think I'll talk more about sunscreen. You're welcome. I love you guys so much. Make it a great day, and it was great talking to you.